No, I think they'd be making a mistake if, in trying to acquire the other star, that they mortgage not only their current but also their future. They have a very, very good roster. As the roster goes right now, this would be the youngest team LeBron James has been on since his rookie season. So athletically, they're far more athletic than teams that he's been on. And the model that LeBron and them created in Miami, because that's when the NBA started playing small ball as far as championship. People have played small ball for a long time, but championship teams didn't. When they moved Chris Bosh to the 5, when he went out and got people like Ray Allen and spot-up shooters, Shane Battier, to be able to spread the court, now Golden State has done that in spades, and Houston has done that in spades with the way they have acquired younger shooters. So I think LeBron understands, I got to be on a team that's a lot younger. Last year, the Cavs are the oldest team in the playoffs. You don't want to be in that position as LeBron ages. So I think that if they give away their top 3 young players and then give away all their draft picks, I think they would be making a mistake compared to those who would argue, well, you're going to waste 1 year in LeBron's prime. Well, it'll be well worth it on the back end. Because I just believe LeBron, like you mentioned, it's not like only 2 players we've seen, Kareem and Karl Malone, that when he gets 36, 37, 38, he's going to be able to do it. And I believe that because he hasn't transformed into that post-up player or that just spot-up shooter yet. Those are to come in his career.
We haven't seen any deterioration in his game whatsoever on the offensive end. And we'll see how much if his defense picks up when his offensive workload is not as heavy as it was last year.
And I could argue that even last season, that his playmaking ability was in an all-time high.
Absolutely.
So we haven't seen his game start to, okay, he can't get above the rim. He's not as athletic to get out on the break.
Which, by the way, we thought we were seeing 4 years ago. Remember,
yes.
He didn't dunk. His first season in Cleveland, pardon me, he stopped dunking. And that led to people saying, well, LeBron's entering what would have made sense, a different phase of his career. And then they were down 3-1 to Golden State, by the way. And people were like, oh, he's going to disappoint the Cavs again. He's not, like, Steph is clearly the best player in the league. And then basically since then, he has reasserted himself. His back got better, most notably. His athleticism returned to not 07, 08 LeBron, but still top 5 athleticism of anybody in the league. And so the only thing that you said that I disagree with is I don't think the Lakers have a great roster right now. They have the potential for an eventual great roster.
Fair. Yes.
Because the guys, the young Lonzo and Ingram and Kuzma aren't there yet. But here is the benefit of what Golden State did and what Golden State is. Whether you add someone this year or not, you're not wasting a year of LeBron's prime, at least in my eyes, because I do not think, even with Kawhi or Lillard or whomever, that this Cavs team, because you're going to have to give up something to get those guys. So it would be, I'm sorry, this Lakers team. I'm going to keep doing that. I apologize. Give me a few days at least.
Yeah.
That this Lakers team is going to be able to compete with a team that was already the most talented team we've already seen, and around midseason is going to add Boogie Cousins. And so I think you can afford a patient approach. If this offseason, just play the make-believe game with me for a moment, Kevin Durant had left and went to Washington. All right, I know they have the cap space, but let's just say he goes somewhere not with LeBron, he leaves. Then I would be pressed. I would say, no, no, no. Like, we have LeBron, we have the best player in the league. Yeah. We know he can beat a Steph and Clay Warriors team. Let's go get it now. Because the Warriors raised the bar 2 years ago and then raised their own bar, you can afford a patient approach. That's one of the reasons, by the way, I think the market for Kawhi outside of the Lakers has been somewhat muted. I think Philly's sitting there and saying, man, is this year, even if Kawhi would come play for us?
Yes.
If he's leaving...
Is there a ring to be won?
Is there a ring to be won? If he's leaving anyway, why don't we just make sure we're as well-stocked a year from now, when Clay could leave, when Durant could leave, when our young guys could be better? So I think the Warriors have changed the math on whether or not I would be okay if I were LeBron with being somewhat passive this offseason.
Well, let's just talk about what the patient approach means. Is it 1 year? Is it 2 years? Could any of these young Lakers turn into all-stars in the next 1 or 2 years? And is that what patience looks like for you? And if the answer is no, then do you bring somebody in?
Well, I think that if there's one player it's just so many point guards. I would like to say Lonzo Ball in 2 years, but I don't think so. Ingram, it's going to take him 2 years to get his body, and there's so many good wing players in the West. No, I don't look at these guys, not in 2 years. None of those three being all-stars.
But I think it's a great question because here's the thing. I don't think they have to be. Because if you wait just 1 year, you can bring in the all-star without getting rid of any of them.
Sure.
That's the argument for the patient approach is that you can, if you wait a year, you bring in the all-star, just absorbing him into the cap space. You keep Ingram, you keep Ball, and those guys don't have to immediately become all-stars.
Right, but then the question becomes, does LeBron want to sit and wait a year for that to happen? And how many years does he have where he could just take 1 year to wait? Not waste, but to wait.
Here's what I can tell you. I can tell you that what the Lakers have done thus far this offseason, LeBron is good with all of it. That their plan thus far this offseason is one, and Brian Windhurst, by the way, and Ramona Shelburne did a well-reported article saying the same thing, that he signed, that he was okay. Maybe, I don't know if they gave him the specific names, but
he has approved or
signed off.
Yes, he is involved
with the approach, even if it's not this is Rondo for $9 million, or like that. He knows.
It's been explained to him very clear, and he's like, yeah, I could see that.
And I think that, and I know we're going to talk about this later in the show, I think LeBron is very comfortable with where he is right now in basketball pantheon and where he will end up. And I do not think that he is looking at it as, if we don't do everything we can to this year make the Western Conference Finals, guys like me talk way more about LeBron's legacy than he is pondering it. I think he is as secure as our friend Skip is on where LeBron's legacy is in a negative direction. That's how secure LeBron is right now with where he is and where it will end up. Because you always talk about the totality of the numbers. This is a guy that does not expect to stop playing basketball anytime soon.
No.
And he can do math. He knows where the numbers are going to end up. And so I don't think he feels like we have to win this moment. And it's not a Cleveland situation where he feels like if we don't win, I've lied. Like, you know what I mean? Or I've let the community down as far as what I promised. Obviously, he expects and anticipates wanting to win a championship with the Lakers, but I don't think he feels a ticking clock the way he did when he went back to Cleveland.
No, at 33, though, LeBron has as a goal a championship.
Of course.
And he would not go to a team unless they had championship aspirations. He has the luxury of realizing right now this new approach, we can't beat Golden State out shooting them. Why try to keep putting together a team that can outshoot the best shooters we've ever seen? Maybe we can be more physical. Maybe we can be more in the half court. Maybe I can be a little more younger on a team where they can be more athletic.
Maybe we can not be 29th in defense, as you pounded on all year long, rightfully so.
It's hard. With that young team, it's hard to impossible to be 26, 27, 28, 29th in defense.
And I think what's important to know is all these moves, whether you like them or not, that the Lakers have made in this early going to free agency, LeBron has had no issue with, has known they were coming,
and they're one-year deals.
And they're all one-year deals.
They have the only player the Lakers have signed to a multi-year extension this offseason is that guy.
Right.
Everyone else, this time next year, they're not under contract.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.